Hello, and here's this week's food for thought. I am a father of numerous children and grandchildren, and I often tell them to watch their P's and their Q's. Now, I was told this as a child myself, to watch my P's and my Q's. Now, have you ever heard that expression before? To watch your P's and your Q's? Now, do you know what that means? I often wondered myself what that meant. To watch my P's and my Q's. Now, the Q for me is to take that time to be quiet, to take that time to take that time alone to be quiet, to take that time to get alone. To get alone for what? To take that space, the time and that quiet time. That quiet time for what? For my peace. To stay on your peace. Now, what are those P's? Now, for me, I think those P's are really important. Those P's to be able to find that peace and that positivity. And how do I find that peace and that positivity? And how to remain patient? Well, I think I find it through just a couple things. I make sure that my priorities are in line. And what are my priorities? If I'm a Christian, I understand that my priorities are this: God, my wife, my children, my church, and my family and friends. And those are really my priorities. And when I have those priorities in place, I can understand that that really gives me peace. But what do I need to do in order to have that? I need to make sure that I make time to take time away with God. Now, how do I do that? I make sure that I make time to be alone with God in prayer. So I ask you as we begin 2025, how's your prayer life been? How's your prayer life been with God? How are you and God doing as we enter 2025 this year? Have you been taking that time to get alone with God? Have you been taking that time to talk with God? Have you been walking with God? Have you and God taken that time to get alone and talk together? Maybe you haven't taken enough time. Or maybe just take those couple minutes here and there. Make sure that you watch your P's and your Q's, because only then will you really be able to stay positive. Well, only then will you have the patience, and only then will you truly have the peace as you enter into 2025. Make sure you watch your P's and your Q's. Until next time, God bless.